Imagine standing at the edge of everything you've ever wanted. A dream job, the admiration of those around you, a life you've worked relentlessly to build. You're so close, the prize feels within reach. But as you take a step forward, something unexpected happens. The closer you get, the more your body seems to freeze. Your palms sweat, your heart races, your mind begins to spiral. It's not failure you're afraid of. No, it's the very thing you've strived for. Success. The thought of it sends shivers down your spine. You start to ask yourself, what if I can't handle it? What if success overwhelms me? What if I'm exposed for not truly being worthy of it? Success should feel like a victory, yet for many, it feels like a trap, something to be feared rather than embraced. This fear isn't talked about often, but it's something we all experience in some form, whether we recognize it or not. Does this sound familiar? You've worked so hard, yet something deep within holds you back from claiming what you deserve. Is there a darker force at play, preventing you from embracing success when it's right in front of you? This is known as the Jonah Complex, a phenomenon first coined by psychologist Abraham Maslow. It's the irrational fear of success, the invisible barrier that causes us to retreat just when we should be stepping into our potential. But why? Why does the human mind fear the very thing it has worked so hard to achieve? Why does success feel like something to avoid, something too dangerous to handle? Is it the pressure that success brings? Or is it something deeper, a fear of losing ourselves in the process of achievement? Maslow believed this fear wasn't simply about failing, but rather about avoiding the responsibility, the scrutiny, and the expectations that come with success. After all, success demands a lot from us. It forces us to confront our deepest insecurities, to be vulnerable in front of the world, and to carry the weight of others' expectations. In this context, success doesn't feel like a win, it feels like a burden. The Jonah Complex reveals itself when we sabotage our opportunities, retreat into comfort, and avoid stepping into our greatness. But how does this fear develop, and what can we do about it? The disturbing history. The term Jonah Complex stems from the biblical story of Jonah, a prophet who is called upon to deliver an important message to the people of Nineveh. But instead of accepting his mission, Jonah flees, afraid of the immense responsibility success would demand of him. He fears the consequences of fulfilling his potential. Just like Jonah, many of us run from success, believing it will bring more harm than good. This resistance is psychological, as success brings not just achievement, but responsibility, vulnerability, and expectations that can feel like a heavy burden. Abraham Maslow, a well-known psychologist, saw this as a defense mechanism against the fear of being exposed or failing under the weight of success. He suggested that people with the Jonah Complex might feel they are unworthy of their success, or that the burden of success would destroy their sense of self. Maslow's insight helped us understand why, despite our best efforts, some of us will shy away from opportunities, even when they are within our reach. It's a fear of what success asks of us, our time, our energy, and our deepest resources. The scientific explanation and symptoms. The Jonah Complex shows up in many forms. It doesn't always look like avoiding success altogether. Instead, it might show itself through procrastination, perfectionism, or a deep fear of judgment. Many people with this complex fear not just failure, but the scrutiny that comes with success. They may sabotage themselves by procrastinating, doubting their abilities, or withdrawing from the very opportunities they should be pursuing. They might put off important decisions or avoid taking risks that could propel them forward. At the heart of the Jonah Complex is a distorted self-image. People may feel that they don't deserve their achievements or that they are imposters merely pretending to be capable. This leads to imposter syndrome, a common experience where high-achieving individuals feel unqualified for their success and are terrified of being exposed as frauds. The fear of success in this case is rooted in a belief that one's worth is not tied to their achievements but to their perception of themselves. The more successful they become, the more they fear they will be found lacking. Furthermore, success often brings additional responsibility, which can overwhelm those who already feel inadequate. People with the Jonah Complex fear that their success will force them to give more than they're able to, or that they'll be exposed as incapable of handling the pressure. Real-world case study. One of the most famous examples of the Jonah Complex in action is the case of Sylvia Plath, a renowned poet and author. Despite her extraordinary literary talent, Plath struggled with the pressure of her success. She often wrote about the anxiety that came with the expectation of greatness, feeling as though she were walking a fine line between brilliance and failure. Her success, in her eyes, was a double-edged sword. It gave her recognition, but it also demanded more from her emotionally, psychologically, and socially than she felt able to give. In her journals, Plath wrote about the pressure to constantly perform, to be on all the time. She feared that success would reveal her vulnerabilities, stripping her of her privacy and exposing her as fragile and imperfect. This fear of exposure is a hallmark of the Jonah Complex. Plath didn't just fear failing in her career. She feared the very essence of success itself with all the demands and challenges it would bring. Plath's struggle is a potent reminder that success isn't just about external achievement. It's about how we internalize success and the fears we have about living up to our own potential. It's a painful and complex relationship with our worth and what success asks of us, and for many, it can be the thing that keeps them stuck in place. The twist. Now let's bring this closer to home. You might not think of yourself as someone who fears success, but think about the times when you've hesitated, held back, or sabotaged yourself right when you were on the verge of something great. Maybe you've turned down an incredible job offer because you feared the pressure it would bring. Maybe you've avoided taking that big opportunity because you didn't think you were ready, even though everyone else around you thought you were perfect for it. It's easy to dismiss these actions as mere indecision or a lack of confidence, but they may be signs of the Jonah Complex. The truth is, many of us have experienced the fear of success even in small ways. This fear isn't always dramatic. It's often subtle, creeping into our decisions in ways we don't even realize. We talk ourselves out of opportunities, rationalizing that we're not ready, not deserving, or not equipped to handle the responsibility. We might even reject praise, dismiss achievements, or procrastinate because the pressure of success feels like too much. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the idea of success, thinking it might take away your peace of mind or expose your weaknesses? Have you found yourself holding back from something you wanted deeply, simply because you were afraid of how your life would change if you succeeded? The fear of success isn't something that can be easily dismissed. It's a psychological barrier that often goes unnoticed, but it's something we can learn to overcome. Recognizing the Jonah Complex is the first step. Once we understand the fears that come with success, we can start to confront them. Instead of running away from success, we can begin to see it as an opportunity for growth, an opportunity to embrace what we truly deserve. So, the question remains, what would it take for you to finally step into your success without fear? And if you continue running from it, what other opportunities might you be missing? Because the longer you resist, the longer you stay trapped in the comfort zone. It's time to face the fears holding you back and to step into the potential you've always known was there. And that is why you need to watch the next videos.